And we're going to start. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Abuja. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, everyone. My name is Adiola Remijon, and I am your host, moderating this one-of-a-kind Zoom webinar this morning. And we have a lineup of speakers. We are so excited because this started as a dream, as a joke. And it's reality and it's upon us this morning. And it's such a wonderful time. And we're sure we're going to have an awesome moment. I want to thank all our speakers, both in-house and also our external speaker as well. Thank you for joining us this morning. You're welcome to this meeting. So a bit of an introduction. This meeting is convened by a group of female educators in Abuja. We call ourselves the Network of Educators Rubbing Minds. Yeah, actually the name was it was quite spontaneous because we came together to rub minds and to see how we could just share ideas and see how we could make the difference in our different businesses. So we've had a few physical meetings over lunch or breakfast, and usually and it's always in time for school resumption or at the end of another school session or school term. And then with the lockdown, of course, we could no longer meet physically, and then the discussions continued on WhatsApp. It will interest you to know that our membership cuts across tribe, religion, educational, curricular, British, Montessori, Nigerian, what have you. So these are not really the main things. We see that there's a common thread amongst us, and this is what actually binds us together. The fact is that we're all school owners, we're all interested in education, and we all expect to see progress. And we know that, it's clear that we're not competing. We're only all in this together to give the best to our children. Okay, so this meeting, why this meeting? It all started when one of us suggested that we come together on Zoom and laugh. So as I said, we're going to be laughing a lot in this. I hope we'll be laughing a lot. I would like us to laugh. So we decided to not only laugh, but add a few serious other issues to look at, because nobody was quite prepared for, I don't think there's anyone in the world except maybe Nostradamus who actually came in prepared to a time as this. So it caught us unawares, and we thought, why don't we come together? The issues of, are we paying fees? Should we go online? How do we reach our children? What sanitary hygiene conditions to maintain when school resumes? And all these things have been issues that we've been thinking about and talking about. So we decided, let's come together and meet. And as I said, we're just about 10 in this group. Now, we decided to hold this meeting, and before you knew it, a lot of other people joined in, and here we are today. I'm just going to show us a list of the schools in this coalition. Can you show us the schools that have come together to do this? No, you missed that. Okay, there are just a few of us, and just a minute. You didn't put that slide on. Okay, we're just a few slides. I'm going to show you the list of the schools, and on the list of the speakers, okay, there you are. So there's Gemville Academy, there's OliveHall Preparatory School, there's Cornerstone Montessori Schools, Crestville Academy, Fonia Crest, The Pride International School, Tetrafi International Academy, Layla Blossom School, Ben Vic Nursery and Primary School, and of course, Sages and Scholars Lighthouse Academy, where I happen to be the head. All right, so this list of schools are the ones on the WhatsApp group, and that's what we've been doing, rubbing minds, as I said. Now, remember I said we were going to laugh. Just to set the tone and the context for this meeting, I'm going to show you something that my husband shared with me from social media yesterday. Just look at this. This is the uncertainty we face, and this is, we could actually laugh about this. It's quite funny, but it's the reality. We really don't know what will happen. What do you expect to see when schools resume? Would you imagine that the children will be running around class and say, oh, he took my mask, he's wearing my mask? Of course, that's cross infections. Miss, he's coughing on me. He says my mask is cheap. Do you see this happening? Do we foresee things like this coming up in due time? These are the kind of questions we would like to ask ourselves, and these are the kind of questions that we hope that somehow things will unravel, the solutions will come with time, and we know that very soon it will all be okay. I mean, if it happened in, what's the name of that flu that happened then? If the Spanish flu happened in 1918 or thereabout, and they survived and we're here today, the world didn't come to an end, so we will also survive. So that's it. Now, before I go on, I'd like to acknowledge our participants. We have quite a number of people that have registered from as far as North America, Canada, San Francisco, Conakry. I don't know when I'll ever get there. Calabar, Port Harcourt, Ogun State, Lagos, Ibadan, Akure, Abeokuta. I've seen all sorts of locations on this, and it's so interesting. And of course, we the Abuja hosts. If you're from Abuja, can I see you? Wave your hands. If you're from Abuja, yay, this is for us. So this is our Abuja meeting. And also we have a lot of thought leaders and well-known influencers joining us. I'm aware that the chairperson of NAPS Abuja signed up for this meeting, Mrs. Bankole. I'm hoping that she will join us also in due time. And of course, a host of so many other important people. Every one of us here at this time, I can say that you are very important and we're here. So gradually we're getting to why we're here. I've told you all this. And then another thing we've also looked at and putting this together was, if you joined this meeting via the registration link, you would have seen the poll. Some of us are here because we are wondering how we're going to pay school fees. Some of us have paid less than 50% of our fees. I mean, I've charged our parents less than 50% fees. Some of us are charging over that. And if your school is that solid and structured, perhaps you're able to charge full school fees. Well, kudos to you. And then for some other school owners here, what is on your mind is, how do I pay salaries? Again, from the registration link, I've seen that for some people, salaries have stopped. For some others, school owners, you have been able to pay at least 50%. And some others have paid less than 50%. But whichever side of the divide you fall on, we're all in this together. And I can assure you there's no right or wrong answer. Whatever it is you're doing, trust me, as long as it fits your conscience and it fits the size of the pocket, you are doing the right thing. So sticking there, we will go into the crux of the matter shortly. And then another question that came up was on use of technology. I would not want to preempt our speakers. I'm sure they will be able to answer all our questions in due time. So we're here today talking about succeeding in a time of abrupt change, and we have a lineup of speakers. And without much further ado, I'd like to go on to the first speaker. Miss Amara, are you ready for us? I'm just going to unmute her. She cannot hear me. Can we unmute Miss Amara? Miss Amara, are you ready?
Yes, please.
Miss Amara, are you ready? All right.
I am ready.
Oh, good. So Miss Amara Ezedinru is a trained business administrator. She's a seasoned human resource manager. She's a certified teacher with a difference. She's a member of the Rotary Club, and she's an author of 3 life-changing books. I have to be an author too. She's a sweet mother, and she enjoys teaching and traveling. And I'm sure she'll enjoy listening and will also enjoy listening to her. So over to you, Miss Amara, and she'll be talking about business continuity management for educators. But before we receive Miss Amara, I would like to ask us, we would like to take a poll now, and the results will come up later. We'd like to take a poll. How many of us, can we bring that up? The poll, how many of us have a business continuity plan for our businesses? That will lead us into what she's going to talk about. Okay, so you have it on your screen now. The question is there. How many of us have a business continuity plan for our schools? You could just type in yes, go on your chat boxes and tap yes or no. I was somewhere yesterday and somebody was saying that this is the time for us to redo our business plans. This is the time for us as educators. But how many of us in actual fact have done that? So let's see. 30 seconds for that. Let's give another 10 seconds. And that will give, okay, let's make it 1 minute. That will give Ms. Amara to put our thoughts together. And at the dot of 60 seconds, we will move on. The results will be out. Okay. move on to her slide. After that, get ready for Ms. Amara's slide. Okay, there you are. Thank you. End poll. End poll. Can we share the results of the poll? Okay, so it appears that about 45% of us have a business continuity plan in place. Oh, that is really very profound. And that's very instructive for those of us that don't have. And for the 55% of us that have not really prepared a plan, this is the time after this meeting. It's a weekend, it's a Saturday. This is the time for you to see what you can do about that. So, Ms. Amara will be telling us more about preparing a business continuity. What's a business continuity plan? What is business continuity management? Over to you now, Ms. Amara, and let's see what you have for us. Thank you. Ms. Amara, we are here. We're waiting for you.
Are you sharing the slide?
Yes, your slides are on.
Are you sharing? Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, madam.
I have
Morning.
just 10 minutes to share my thoughts or to share up our thoughts in data. And I want to thank every member of the Robin Minds Network for making this happen. Okay, so we are talking about business continuity. First of all, I understand if you don't have a business continuity plan, if you've not even heard about it, our environment definitely affects all of us. We do know that Nigeria is one of the last places where proper planning happens. And all of this just rubs off on all of us because I don't know how much a person can be bigger than his or her society, okay? So let's just define it and take the keywords and then we end it. Okay, what's business continuity management? It's very simple. Activity performed by a school, this because, you know, we are a school, to ensure that critical business functions are available to customers, suppliers, regulators, and other entities that must have access to those business functions. Okay? And I asked, what are the keywords for you from this definition? For me, the two keywords are critical business functions and available or supply to customers. As a school, if I asked you, what do you think are your critical business functions? Somebody will tell me it's education. Are you sure? Do you think if a child doesn't get into the four walls of a classroom, either digitally or physically, for 1 year, do you think, how much damage do you think would happen to that child? Few times I've had to converse with school owners. I remember many years ago, I had a child accident. For a whole year, she was in the hospital. And when she resumed, we were all worried. Will there be a gap? Within 2 weeks, the girl was flying again. So I asked again, what are the critical businesses that schools offer? Do you think it's just English and math and sciences? This is something you need to think about because every school is different. And because every school is different, I cannot tell you for sure what your critical business functions are. I've seen a school where parents only go there for the purpose of networking. I've seen schools that provide, they are like support groups to families. They organize evening outings and, you know, when you have your husband is slapping you, you come and you have a shoulder to lean on. I ask you again, as a business owner, you can't think about continuity, you can't think of business continuity management if you haven't identified what critical service you are providing. Because that critical service is what you have to keep up with in this period. For instance, I know that a lot of schools have gone online. Yesterday, a parent called me and said, this online thing is not working. I said, why is it not working? He said, because my internet is misbehaving and the children are doing Zoom all the time. I said, why must they do Zoom? Why can't the teacher record the class and send, and when the child's internet stabilizes, the child can still be part of it. So you see, a lot of people are really not part of it and schools are really not taking feedback and everybody thinks it's okay. No, it's not okay. The issue is you are leaving sour taste in the mouth of your parents, and I don't know what will happen by the time school gets back. So it's time to look inward again and ask yourself, what critical functions are or is your business providing at, I mean, even during the regular period, right? The second thing is, how would you provide these critical business functions to your customers, okay? So business continuity management is all about making arrangements to ensure you can respond as effectively as possible to your customers. So who are our customers? The parents are our customers. I'm sure we all know that. They are different level. The students are our customers. I'm sure we all know that. And they are also at another level. Don't also see your parents as just people who just take your money, okay? Then we have our team members that we owe. We really owe them. And academic and non-academic staff. I'm sure that many schools have their security men still working full time, even during this lockdown, okay? I can tell you for a fact that they can actually open your gate and anything can happen in that school, and there is really not so much you can do. The best you can do is take them to the police. We will write statements. After writing statements, the police, Nigerian police will tell you, come today, come tomorrow. Nothing will happen after 6 months. I stand to be corrected in this part of the world. So we owe our team members. We have our external customers who give us diesel, who give us chalk and whiteboard markers and all of those. They're also important. There are times we have to take credit from them. There are times they had to supply us what is fake or substandard, and it affected writing and all of that, so they are part of it. And then we have one mighty customer who says we must not call what we're doing third term, call the government. They are saying no, not third term. And why? Because they are unprepared, not because we are unprepared, because they were lackadaisical and they were not proactive, because they don't have business continuity management on their part. Otherwise, by now, shouldn't every school in Nigeria be digitalized? Shouldn't internet be something like water? So many years after internet came into being. All right, so we see this mighty big brother called government who says, because we are unready, the rest of you must be unready. And that's why I keep saying that, you know, you can't, it's difficult to be bigger than your society. Now, having known the people that our services go to, the question is, in times of disruption, we have to continue to provide acceptable level of service to these people. Not just any service, it has to be acceptable. So if your school is already on a particular pedestal, you're already at a particular level, you're a top-notch school, I keep telling every parent now, every school owner now, right now, your online schools are at the mercy of your teachers. Every school is equal right now. Nobody has any interactive whiteboard to show me. Nobody has any big football pitch to show me. Nobody has any AC, comfortable, big, colorful classroom to show me anymore. All that you have to show me now is your computer and your staff. So as far as I'm concerned, all schools are equal. I stand to be corrected on this. And if that is the case, we're still saying that you must give acceptable level of services. That's what business continuity is all about. And it's something you have to think about. All right, can I go to the next slide? I think I'll be rounding off because I've done like 5 minutes. The next slide, please. So business continuity planning goes beyond disaster recovery. You know what we are doing now? We were waiting for the COVID. It came and met us. The government declared, lockdown. Immediately the government declared it. Everybody started thinking about online training. No, that's disaster recovery. We're already in the issue before we said thinking of what to do. Your planning should precede that, okay? So it includes actions that you need to take. It includes resources. It includes procedure. How many people who are doing online learning have policies? How many schools have policies? I'm not sure how many schools do right now. And these are policies that should have happened before now, right? So it includes procedures to be followed to ensure the continued availability of essential services. So your continuity plan should just focus on essential services. Now, if you don't know what your essential services are, then I don't know. I have a school that all the parents said, we are not interested in online learning. And then the school owner came to me and said, what are we going to do? I said, simple. What other essential service do we offer? So let's continue to give them emotional support. Let's continue to give them some succor. Let's continue to tell them our shoulders are available. And so you see the parents creeping in privately to the school owner, because she will forward me the message. Please, what can I do? We don't have money. We haven't eaten. I can't pay online fees because all I'm thinking about is money to feed. Okay? So now the person has not eaten, cannot be thinking of math and English. Therefore, this school owner turned her WhatsApp group for her parents into a support group. Okay, pending this, do that, stay happy, share your challenges and all of that. And guess what? The parents are grateful, the parents are lively. Can we go to the next slide, please? So the very big question I want to ask everyone here is, what do you consider as your critical service? There may be more than one, there may be two, there may be three. What do you think it parents were to leave your school they would miss? Remember, we're no longer talking about your whiteboard and your trips abroad and the way your teachers speak with finesse. No, it's all beyond that. So you want to figure out one critical service or two or three or how many they are. I can assure you that a school does much more than giving English, math, giving curricular subjects. A school is far bigger than that. Let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, so these are a few things to chew on. When this Wuhan thing started in China, somewhere in November or December, did you foresee the lockdown in Nigeria? What did you do to avoid a downtime? Did you have a contingency plan? What if this pandemic persists for another 6 months? What would you do differently? A BCM requires that you build a solid foundation and put processes in place to reduce the risk of service interruption. The next slide, please. I think my 10 minutes almost gone. Let's go. The next slide. Oh, okay. BCM is a team effort. For you to get your business continuity management, please, it is a team effort. It's not where you have to sit down and plan it and shove it down people's throats. No. So you need to get every member of your team, including your gate man, your security. Every member of your team has to be involved. So we're saying all hands on deck. The next slide, that's the last slide. Okay? So having got your internal team, your team members involved, I call that internal sorting out. The next thing I want to tell you is that BCM is a collaborative effort. This is not a time for schools to be in competition. It's a time for everybody to put it all together. So go ask school A, what is it that you're doing that some of my children can benefit from? And what is it that is my strength that your children can benefit from? You know, in Nigeria, business is always about competition. I understand that. But for BCM to be as effective as it ought to be, we all have to think about collaboration and not competition at this time. I apologize that we only have 10 minutes, and I thought that, okay, let me just put our appetite a bit. And that's where I'm stopping today. I hope you gained something. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We can't hear you, Miss Aride.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you hear me now? So I'm going to. All right, thank you, Ms. Amara. Thank you for that very, very interesting topic you took. As I said, business continuity plan, or business continuity management, rather, looks to me like a soul-searching exercise. We are all in this. This has happened. Well, we can't unwind the time. But the future is ahead of us. And like we always say, we may not be where we expected we could be, but if we take all these things into cognizance now, we will not be where we would have been expected to be. So this is the time for us to to start all over again, to see what we can do. That's why I started by taking a plan on, taking a poll on how prepared we were. I was listening to, as I said, I was listening to someone 2 days ago, and she said this is the time for school owners to go back to their business plan, the business plan that started the business, and see if, and restructure it and adjust it to be able to accommodate all these unexpected changes. Ms. Amara said a lot of very interesting things. I wouldn't want to go into that now, but I will come back into it later, maybe when we take the Q&A. By the way, I'd like you to take, to keep